Hello there! Welcome to the Airgun Gear Show. I get lots of questions sent to me every day. Lots and lots of questions every day.
The cast and I would be happy to answer a few questions.
Oh, yes, so many questions. Me, Mr. Stewart, Mr. Stewart, Mr. Stewart.
And I'm very sorry, I simply cannot answer them all. However, there is one rifle out there which is generating the vast majority of those questions. And it's this one, the Daystate Huntsman Regal. Now, I've covered this rifle in many different ways in the last few years on my channel. But it appears, from what people are telling me, that you feel that this should have a full-blown review like current rifles. I don't disagree with you. So I'm actually going to correct it, starting from about now. The Daystate Huntsman was the first ever PCP I reviewed many years ago in early editions of the Airgun Gear Show. So I have a real soft spot for this airgun. Let's be honest, from looking at some of those earlier videos, you can see that since then I've clearly eaten a lot of pizza. And I have to say, Pizza Hut is the best. Particularly stuffed crust. The rifle has evolved since its first showing as the Huntsman, with the engineering changes inside being modified more than 5 times. The initial rifles that were built had the important working parts located within the air cylinder. Over the years, that has evolved into a service-friendly rifle, with the main action being attached to the air cylinder. And during that build change, the rifle has also evolved its name, and it's now the Huntsman Regal. Same good looks, just a more advanced heart. The good looks of the Huntsman come from the simple styling and gorgeous stock which is carved by Manelli of Italy. The air cylinder sits right down in the fore end, which brings out the rifle look. The cheek piece is a wave of wood with little touches all over, such as the thumb area and the true 3D stippling on the fore end, finished with the proud R on the grip on the side. Embedded in the bottom of the fore end is the cylinder pressure gauge. And yes, yellow and green do seem to be the wrong way round. The barrel is shrouded. However, I have added a silencer, because I like my rifle to be as quiet as possible. You see, me stalking enter quiet action, so my gun needs to make up for my mistakes. The Huntsman Regal is a 10-shot or single-shot air rifle. If you're a single-shot loader kind of person, then you simply clip in the single-shot tray. To charge and index each shot if you're using the magazine, you just pull the bolt back at the rear of the rifle. Because it's a PCP air rifle, there's no recoil. There's just a firm thud from the action that lets you know you've put some lead down range. I could shoot tins all day. It just never gets boring. The firing mechanism is the patented Daystate slingshot system. The slingshot hammer is contained within a soft cage. This springs forward upon trigger release, whereupon it's brought to a rapid halt, allowing the hammer within to carry on, striking open the main valve under inertia. A pulse of high pressure air is then released from the secondary air reservoir to drive the pellet up the bore. Assisted by air pressure and a return spring, the open valve is then immediately shut, and the hammer moves rearwards in what would normally be the bounce stage. However, the patented slingshot system prevents the valve opening further, thus ensuring no unnecessary air wastage. This means the rifle is extremely efficient, and when shooting it creates a firm shot release feel time and again. Let's get on and do some accuracy testing with the Regal. And I'm going to start at 22 yards. I'm going to use 4 tins of pellets to see how I get on. And I'm going to use 2 that I know work and 2 random ones. The ones I know that work are the Sovereigns and the H&N Barracuda Hunter Extremes. The random ones are the Superdomes and the black pointed things. Before I show you a close-up of the results, some of you out there are going to scream, hang on a minute, you only hit the target 4 times with the black pointy things. Yes, you're quite correct, I did, because the other 6 went sort of somewhere, well, over here. Don't ever use these. And I'm going to do with them what I should have done with them a long time ago. Here's my results at 22 yards. I've got the rubbish, which is in the bin, 4 on the paper, 6 not even on the target. Then we've got the Superdomes, then we've got the Sovereigns, and first place goes to the H&N Barracuda Hunter Extremes. To do this review, I had to borrow a Regal from Daystate. I'm ashamed to say I don't have one in my collection. And when the rifle arrived, it had attached to it a new Optizan HX 4x12x40 scope. Now these are lovely little scopes, and I did my shooting at 22 yards with it. However, to go a little bit further, I wanted something a little bit more, so I've put on my MTC Viper Pro. I'm using my Viper Pro because it gives me a lot more control. Here, I've got it set for Barracudas at 50, but if I turn the dial, Sovereigns at 50, and then I'm down to Barracudas at 30, and it's that easy to adjust for your range. With my 2 choice pellets, the Sovereigns and the Barracudas, I'm going to move my target back to 30 yards. Now that's interesting. With the Sovereigns at 30 yards, that's with the scope cam, and that's without. And these are the Barracudas, and that's with the scope cam and without. And those are slightly bigger holes, purely and simply because that's what the pellet is designed to do. As I said at the start, this rifle needs a complete test, which means I now need to shoot it at 50 yards. But there is a little bit of a story behind that. Basically, I didn't shoot the 50-yard group on the same day that I filmed the 22 and the 30 yard. It was just a little too windy for shooting at 50 yards. So I waited, and I waited, and I waited for a perfectly still day. The day I got no wind was Tuesday, the 8th of November. Special day for some people. And I looked out the window and saw no wind. I dashed to the range and I literally put the rifle on the stand and shot. And these are the groups I got. might be able to see my breath. Oh yes. These are Barracudas and these are Sovereigns. I got to admit, I don't quite know what went on there. That could be me needing coffee. But the other three groups, well, I'd be happy with those at 30. The rifle and that barrel is clearly cock on. And here are the numbers on the Regal. Now, if you're the kind of person that wants to put every pellet through the same hole, no matter what, you're going to have to learn the first few and last few shots of the charge. But if you're a hunter, you've got 80 crisp, accurate shots to use. There's only one thing that niggles me about the Regal, and that's the trigger guard. It's plastic and it's not overly well finished, and I think that is a shame when the rest of the rifle is so well put together. So what are my final thoughts on the Daystate Huntsman Regal? Well, it seems from all the messages I'm getting from people out there, you like this gun, and you like it because your air rifle looks like a rifle. You like it because of that amazing barrel that's on board and those super efficient workings inside. I'm going to stick my neck on the line and I'm going to say that I think this is one of the best looking air rifles on the market. And actually, if you've got a bit of pest control or just some target shooting to do, this could be all the rifle you'll ever need. One more question to answer. A load of you have asked, where's your Extreme Bench Rest 2016 video? Well, it's there, and it's so different to anything you've ever seen before. It seems that YouTube has screwed up the mobile license on the video. You can't see it on a mobile in some parts of the world, so you'll need to watch it on a desktop or a laptop. But it's worth it.
Give me that jacket. Enough is enough. It's disgusting.